Rick Ross and his crew are humbled in Vancouver. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Alize. Don't forget to subscribe. So, Rick Ross, we all know, was dissing Drake heavily during the whole Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef, going on about Drake's nose, saying who knows. Even made a whole diss song directed at the Canada MC. Well, like I said, Rick Ross was performing in Vancouver, Canada, and he decided the bright idea to play Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar in Drake's own city, his own country. Man's taking their mick, if you ask me. Well, as expected, the crowd didn't like it, and there's some footage out there showing that Rick Ross was having a little heated conversation with a few people, and then Rick Ross was struck in the face by one of the guys. Either struck him with a punch and threw a drink, or just struck him and then somehow a drink started flying everywhere. Anyway, the melee started. Ross's crew jumped in, one big guy, a couple smaller guys, and it just went a bit crazy. But to be fair to Rick Ross, he didn't run. His first instinct was to get busy. He pulled up his jeans and got to action. But then I think he realized they were very heavily outnumbered and took a few steps back. Kind of moonwalked like MJ in the 80s. But one of his, I assume it's his bodyguard, really got beat, getting kicked and punched, and when he eventually got back on his feet, was kind of dazed. But overall, the crew got messed up. There was one guy that got knocked out like it was bedtime. Nobody could wake him up. They had to carry him like a baby. According to reports, nobody got seriously injured, and that's the main thing. It only takes one little accident, someone get poked in the eye and can't see for the rest of your life. Yeah, but that Vancouver crew definitely put their beats on Ross and his crew. It was almost like Mike Tyson in the early 90s. Over real quick. And obviously I can't play the whole footage here on YouTube because it violates proper rules out here. So I just gotta play those little snippets. But the footage is damning. And people have been reacting to this. Bobby Shmurda has reacted to it. He was like laughing and clowning Ross. Rick Ross's baby mother, Tia Kemp, of course went online and reacted big time to this footage. And probably the most predictable was 50 Cent. He came out and said his thing, reacted to the footage. Check it out.
Hey guys, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I wanted to say to everyone, that I hope that brother made it home safely. I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world, that part where the young guy went like, he did this little move and got knocked out like right there. That does not reflect him. That reflects his camp, and he might need to go get the Dream Chasers or the 305.
Yeah, fam. I ain't gonna lie, 50 looking kind of old from this angle. Maybe that's just me thinking that. But of course 50 was gonna clown Ricky Ross. Although he doesn't normally take shots at Ross, I've noticed. When Ross ever said something about 50, 50 kind of comes back in a minimal way. He doesn't go hard at it like he does other celebrities. 50 did it today, and he put out a post as well, mocking Rick Ross as well. But I'm sure Rick Ross will just come back with something comedic, because I ain't gonna lie, Ross is quite funny. I thought 50 was probably the funniest rapper, him and Cameron. But Ross is kind of taking that title. He's got that title right now. But I'm sure Drake is loving this. His enemies getting manhandled. And look, this wasn't like a 60-40 type of thing. This was a knockout like crazy. I didn't see anyone win a fight or duel from the Rick Ross camp. Everyone got pummeled. Everyone got their head smashed in. It was crazy. Not that we want to promote the violence, people. We don't. And like I said before, happy that nobody got actually seriously hurt. So Drake has responded to the whole Rick Ross fiasco. Check it out.
Before, African woman, you're the one I adore. Happy Canada Day. See, I'm repping today. Happy Canada Day to everybody. Cheers, man. Cheers to the whole country. Our day today. Sun's out. Enjoy it.
Yeah, fam. Drake also put a post out and it said this: custom design, fine rhymes into salary, all the way from T-Dot to the Van City All-Stars. Obviously shouting out Vancouver, who beat the brakes out of Ricky. Tia Kemp, one of Rick Ross's baby mothers, also commented on the post saying Drake with a whole bunch of E's at the end. And then Drake responded to her by saying my goat. So obviously Drake is trolling Ricky. Academics would end up posting this all on his platform, and Rick Ross would respond to that by calling Drake the P word and calling Tia Kemp granny. So Rick Ross, he don't mess about, you know what I mean? And after the whole situation Rick Ross had in Vancouver, he actually put a post out saying, Vancouver, it was fun. Till next time. I did not know when Rick Ross became so funny with the trolling. It's like you can't really shut the guy up. Now obviously we know the history between Ross and Drake. They used to be cool, collaborating on songs. Probably Ross's biggest songs were with Drake. It seems that relationship is in the mud. Uncle Luke from the 2 Live crew has reacted to the incident that happened in Vancouver, where Rick Ross and his crew were pretty much beat up. And I got the clip right here, people. Check it out.
My boy Ross and his guys in Canada, that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. That don't happen. That don't supposed to happen. And what's more unacceptable is when Mr. Drake liked the post. That also is unacceptable. I expect more out of Mr. Drake. When there's violence, you don't condone it. You should be bigger than that. Mr. Drake, you should be bigger than that. When there's violence, you don't condone that. There's always a backlash of it all. Even if you were not involved, half of the country think you set the man up. They book a show in Canada and you send your goons out to agitate and start a fight with Ross. Mr. Drake, like the post, you just inserted yourself into violence toward Mr. Ross and his crew. When you like the post and you on there doing your little, okay, it's a beautiful day in Canada, and you like the post, you just inserted yourself in some. Look how it all play out. Oh, so half the country thinking that you, Roston played the record, the Kendrick Lamar record, and he got jumped on because he played the Kendrick Lamar record. So now you got a whole West Coast of people, they at your head. Oh, that's what we doing? You don't need that, Mr. Drake. But you're too talented to insert yourself in some shit that you're not really about. To have a whole coast at your head, you don't want that. I don't want that for you. Look, I had the same conversation with Biggie and Pop. I'm probably one of the only few that could talk to them straight up. Leave this shit alone, boss. Because it's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper pull the trigger. It's not going to be the rapper that robs somebody. It's not going to be the rapper that do something. No, it's going to be somebody looking for a come up. It's going to be somebody looking for a come up. Or it's going to be some super fan who going to then do the shooting. So I would have expected Mr. Drake to be like, yo, I don't condone violence. That ain't what it is. I don't have nothing to do with that or none of that. You feel me? Because y'all can play the little games where you're talking on this social media. And you're doing your little texting and you're tweeting and you're talking and however y'all say whatever y'all want to say about each other. You can do that on here. But when you go to putting hands on people, that's when the shit go to a whole nother level. The rapper never gets hands put on them. It's the other people, and then it's the other people that really be about their life. It be the other people who be with the rapper who really on that. So play your little games with your words. If you want to do wordplay with Ross and anybody else, do your little wordplay with all that, but don't say, keep 305 out your mouth. I'm just telling you right now, because this shit is, everybody has a part of their city where people really bleed this shit. I would hope that you two gentlemen get your shit together, Mr. Drake and Mr. Ross, because I don't want this to end like that.
Yeah, fam. Now, he said a lot, but he pretty much is criticizing Drizzy Drake for liking a post with Rick Ross getting assaulted, and Drake put out a video also kind of smiling and celebrating Canada Day, but kind of chuckling at the same time in a sarcastic way. And Luke believes Drake is kind of adding fuel to the fire, because now the beef has got a bit physical. Because, you know, when it's just words online, diss songs, it's like sticks and stones may break your bones. But once it gets physical, you gotta distance yourself from that situation. And Luke was basically saying how Drake should have come out, denounced, and said he was against all violence, and even maybe given them a call on Rick Ross's side and said, hey, that wasn't from us, we had nothing to do with that. He also suggested that Drake shouldn't want any parts of this because he doesn't want to get involved in a coastal war. Like, he believes that if this altercation kicked off just because that song by Kendrick Lamar played, then it'll be the situation where, yo, Drake can't come out to the West Coast because that song might play, and then another fight kicks off. Then he even compared it to the whole Biggie and Tupac thing, like it could end with somebody getting really hurt. Now, this part I did believe is a bit over dramatic, because for one, Tupac didn't die because of the Biggie and Pac situation. He died because he got into a fight with a gang member. And Biggie the same, we don't really know what happened with Biggie. But where I do agree is that it could be some super fan, it could be someone from the entourage, somebody will get hurt or may get hurt over this, and it's not worth it, especially when you think of Rick Ross's age. He's like almost 50, Drake's almost 40. You know, if you see someone in that 19 or 20 doing all this rap beef, you're like, okay, they're young. When you see older guys like this, it does look a bit silly. And let's not forget, towards the end of the whole Drake-Kendrick Lamar beef, Drake's home had a shooting. You know, some people linked it to the whole beef. We don't really know the full story of that just yet still. Overall, I do understand what Luke is saying. He just wants everybody to keep this a bit low key. If you keep it on wax, it's all good. But when it gets physical, it does change it to another level. And I do agree with that. Most of the time, even in general in life, if something gets physical, it does take it to another level of seriousness. But as far as we know, this is just some fans that were just backing Drake. This was not one of Drake's entourage. We haven't heard any of that. These are Drake's goons. A lot of people are reporting that these are Drake's goons. I don't believe they were goons at all. And Luke was talking about things going another level because it's physical. But, you know, Kendrick Lamar was saying a whole bunch of stuff about Drake, which I think most men or most people would even say went past the line. So I think really you got to just say the gloves are off. Now, a lot of people have reacted, and I got the reaction of Whack 100 and Bobbish Murder. Check it out.
Yo, cuz I don't want I like C Murder. Oh, my dead grandmother, son. I don't want I like C Murder, bro. I swear to God. I swear to everything I love, bro. I don't want I like C Murder, bro. Yo, I just see the videos. Yo, story set. Yo, you feed me out when I was like 12 years old. Yo, you choked me out when I was 12 years old. I tried to get the whole building.
Yo, I just see what happened, son. Yo, yeah. Oh shit! I see the clip and roll the window up. He nigga that sweet. He shit him back. I would've ran. He said she finna come.
Yo, check this out. TMZ, all you blogs, everybody trying to figure out what happened in Canada, you might want to tap in with Wack. You know what I'm saying? I got the full story. I got the people behind it. I got the people who did the movement. And you know, just because I don't want the wrong people, you know, getting the blame for it, it ain't really what y'all say it is. So all you blogs that want the direct interview with the individual up there in Canada, you know, he part of my team down here when I get to the East Coast. He ain't gonna talk to y'all, but he'll talk to y'all through me. You know, it's hard out here. He's trying to eat. Tap in with me. A lot of y'all got my phone number. If not, hit RANB at RANNB. DM and say, yo, we need that interview. And she'll connect you to me. West up, the exposers. We strike again.
Yeah, fam. Now, Bobby, trust him to be laughing like a hyena. He couldn't control himself, saying that if that happened to him, everybody's got a drop. He'd go postal. And obviously, we know Bobby Shmurda's history, and you gotta say, I kinda believe it. I do believe it indeed. He even swore on his dead grandmother's grave, so you know he's serious. And it comes to Wack 100, Wack's just doing his teasing thing, making everybody tune into his show on Clubhouse or what have you, just to get the exclusive of what was behind the whole incident in Canada. More reactions, people, as the legendary Marlon Wayans weighs in to the crazy altercation between Rick Ross, his crew, and a bunch of Canadian Drake fans. He said this: "It's all fun and games until people start getting hurt. Remember this, history repeats itself. I knew Tupac, I knew Biggie. I partied with them, hung out with them, saw them both 20 minutes before they got shot. Violence is real. Everyone can be touched. Don't entertain the devil. I love Drake, I love Rick Ross, I love Kendrick Lamar, I love the game. And I say to all my brothers, there's enough for everyone to eat. Y'all all need to do what J. Cole did. Walk away from all the BS with peace, with love, with positivity. Life is short, even shorter if you spend your energy on breaking each other down instead of building each other up. Hate seeing any of our kings at war. We are too few. Stop." And I say this with love, always OG MW. Now, of course, Marlon Wayans, he's about 50 years old. He's going to be saying this, and of course, like he said, he experienced the whole Biggie and Tupac thing. So he's saying the mature thing, that these guys just need to chill. And Trick, the Detroit legend street guy, also reacted to the whole Rick Ross assault. And he said this:
"Stop sending me that video of Brother Rick Ross having that situation in Canada. This ain't that. I ain't that. I don't gloat in the mishap of no man. I don't give you heard what you think you heard, what you think you know. You don't know me like that. Don't be sending me no video of that man having a situation that he had with no in Canada. No, this ain't that. I support that brother. I salute that brother for being great at what he do, and that's where that's at. Y'all need to cut all that other whole shit out every time it's a situation with a brother. Everybody can't wait to, ooh, but me and Raw got pressed. And man, shut the fuck up with that. You go sit down and get your mind right, dog. Instead of eating this bull up all the time, why don't you condition your mind to be greater than gospel?
Yeah, fam. So of course, Rick Ross and Trick had some issues back in the day, about 10 years ago, where Trick basically said Rick Ross and other artists couldn't come to Detroit. It was a no-fly zone, to the point where Rick Ross even came to a venue to perform, and he was met by some goons apparently telling him he couldn't come through. Obviously, so people have seen this stuff happen to Ricky Ross and have sent the footage to Trick and thinking that he will take it, repost it, and start talking bad about Ross, about him. But Trick's an older man now. He don't care about that old beef. And he's come out and he's put a lot of these people back in their place. Told them to get their mind right. Stop gossiping. He even said Rick Ross does great things and a whole bunch of other compliments. And has talked down to people that say, hey, why is it when another black man has a bad situation, everyone wants to clown him? And he wasn't going to pile into that, which is a good message and is very true. Most people do like to jump on the negativity. Let's keep it real. So the biggest boss, Ricky Ross, has replied and responded to all the people criticizing and showing support after his fight in Canada, Vancouver. Check it out.
And I'm thinking about the event that happened over there. Let me tell you something. When the first dude stepped up to Rose, the little short fat one that looked like Bam Bam Bigelow from wrestling, when he stepped up, and then I squat down in his eyes and told him what I said. Basically, boy, if I hit you, I'm gonna see everything you ate for the last 2 days. His dropped out of his ass. He never said another word. He never did nothing. He was a straight buster. Then the behind him said, I know MMA. And then I got hit with a drink. I'm still convinced ain't on the punch me. Somebody said, Rose, they tried to punch you. He hit you. I say, nah. He had to throw a drink, because throwing a drink would have been way more disrespectful than screaming, I know MMA! Man.
Yeah. Rose was talking a whole lot of rubbish. No, I think what basically he was trying to do, he was trying to make light of the whole situation, just like how he did with the whole Drake beef. He never really got on music with Drake, except for that one song. He just kind of clowned him for his nose and kept it as an online Instagram joke. He's trying to do the same thing with this situation, but he's failing miserably. Miserably. He started talking about one of the guys, the first guy that talked to him, looked like an old wrestler called Bam Bam Bigelow. You youngsters might not know who that is. It's a 90s thing. And then he tried to do the gangster talk, like he told the guy if he hits him, Ross is going to see everything he ate in the last 2 days. Well, it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't even make any sense. But again, Ross was trying to be comical, trying to lighten the whole situation. This is the part that I thought was crazy, and a lot of people feel it's crazy. He says he wasn't even hit, just a drink was thrown on him. But in the footage, yeah, it does look like a drink was thrown on him, which it was. But you can clearly see the guy strikes him right in the beard. But again, he's just trying to save face, saying he wasn't hit. But clearly he was hit. He was hit. His crew got mashed up. One of the big bodyguards, I mean, damn. He was kicked all over the place, man. He got up all gingerly, walking the wrong direction, or it was crazy. And the other guy, can't have been a bodyguard, he looked kind of small, but he got knocked out fully. And then we see Rose just moonwalking out of the place, leaving all his guys unconscious. It really wasn't a good look for Rose.